Hey guys, this is Alex and Patrick with another TFBTV video. Today's topic is 5 overlooked semi-automatic rifles. These guns mostly are no longer made and imported into the U.S. Or in the U.S.
Actually, I don't think any of them are still made.
No, none of them actually. Well, some of them are still made, just not in the U.S.
Well, yeah.
Anyways, guys, what we have are 5 guns that are overlooked by most people because they're not common most of the time. They didn't sell well in some cases. In some cases, they sold really well and actually provided some ammunition for the '89 import ban. That was kind of before 1989. There was a slew of all kinds of crazy tactical rifles being imported, and then in '89 they decided to halt crime. It would be a good idea to stop the importation of foreign, what they would call assault rifles, but are not assault rifles as they're semi-automatic only.
Yes, these are modern sporting rifles.
Yeah,
if you want to be pedantic.
Absolutely. So let's start off with the first one, which is probably the ugliest gun on the table, and arguably in my
but it's pretty cool though.
In my collection. But this is
No, it's not the ugliest one in the collection.
Or maybe not. But anyways, that's a good 5 guns top.
Five ugly guns.
But this is a Gwinn Firearms Bushmaster rifle. It predates the Gwinn Firearms, predates the Bushmaster company, and basically it's a rifle version of a pistol called the Bushmaster ARM pistol, or the ARM pistol. I'm not sure if the originals were under the Bushmaster moniker or not, but it was basically adapted with that same kind of weird long stroke piston. You can see the piston on the top; it's actually exposed. So it'd be like running an AK almost without a gas tube. But it's not really something you can see that would impact your hand unless you wrap it around the bolt. Then you'd have, it's reciprocating. So you're.
I don't think Chris Costa would like it.
Yeah, you're going to get hurt anyway. But it's got a really nice folding stock. Other than that, it's slab side aluminum. It's if it wasn't for the barrel being a very heavy profile, it would be a very light gun.
It would.
But that's a very thick barrel. That's definitely at least Colt H-bar diameter, if not larger.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. But it's very front heavy.
Yeah.
Which,
it's a big stainless 20-inch barrel in there.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure why they made. I know exactly why they made it, to make a profit, like anybody makes anything. But I'm sure they thought it would complement their ARM pistol well, but it didn't because nobody's heard of it. As a matter of fact, this is serial number less than 50, so. Yeah, very low serial number. They obviously didn't sell very well. And,
I think 43.
Yeah, so at serial number 43, I don't think they churned out a whole bunch of these things.
No, but it is a very cool gun, and kind of overlooked.
Yeah, definitely overlooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of things I don't like about it. One is, obviously the unsightliness of it. But another thing is, so I don't sweep you here. The back of the grip is it's not contoured. It's almost...
It's almost like they had the ARM pistol and then it was an afterthought. Someone at the factory's like, I bet we can make this a rifle and sell it.
Yeah.
And then they did, and now, we got these.
But, it's a cool looking gun. I do like the wood on it. It's
That's all you, my friend.
I didn't say pretty, I said cool.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of got that retro 80s
even
style to it.
Prior to that,
the weird Stoner 63 sight on the back, kind of.
I'm thinking like first SWAT team ever might use something that looked like this with, their
golly gee,
mesh-backed hats with the rope going across the junction between the brim and cap, kind of thing.
Who knows? But anyways, it's an overlooked gun.
Yes.
Other than that, there's not much negative or positive I can say about it. It's a gun. It takes AR-15 magazines and fires 5.56. So if you need something that fits that bill, this might do it for you.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyways, on to the next one. This is a very overlooked firearm. This is a Beretta AR70. Now, the AR70 was actually the mainstay, still is. The AR70-90 is the main rifle of the Italian Armed Forces. It's now being supplemented by the ARX160, which is a horrible gun, as we tested and found out. It's just...
I was about to say...
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. If you got one and you like it, whatever. But I tested a lot of guns for the blog, and that's probably the only one I've tested where I was just like, wow, I have to write a bad review. Yeah, because this is a great gun.
We were at the range shooting, and I was like, this is just terrible. But whenever you picked this up, I came very close to saying this is proof that Beretta can produce a good rifle.
We did. We actually marked this as proof Beretta can make a great modern rifle.
Yes.
It's got nice AK rock in, rock out magazines, all steel, very similar to Galil magazine. It's got a dust cover that's hinged like an M16, good sights, just a very solid feeling rifle.
It is.
I'm rattling it and you can't hear it at all.
No, I mean, I do like it. It feels nice in the hands. It's a very cool looking gun.
Oh, something that's weird is the flash hider isn't actually separate. It's the kind of a barrel shroud setup. So if you unscrew that, you've just got bare barrel under there.
It's a very thin.
So I'm not exactly sure why they did that. Maybe it helps with suppressors. They have a proprietary or blank firing adapter.
Either that or possibly rifle grenades. I don't know if that was something that would have been fielded right around this time.
If you've ever served in the Italian military, maybe chime in and let us know what that was used for. I'm legitimately curious. But it's got a very nice feel to it, very positive block and everything like that.
I mean, it shoulders well.
Truly, it's a good looking firearm too. Handsome firearm.
It is.
Unlike the last firearm, that's pretty ugly. But what's funny is I've always heard a rumor that these got in the country kind of under Beretta's nose, because when I got the box for this, it says, "Congratulations on your purchase of a new Beretta shotgun, model AR70, gauge 223." So I'm thinking, that there might be some truth to that, because I've heard that they got in by way of some non-traditional methods. Which would be cool if true. You know, I haven't seen many of these on the market, but they are overlooked. Not a lot of American shooters know about them. Cool looking guns, though.
Yeah, I wish Beretta had brought this here, though.
Me too. Well, they did. It's here. In your
yes. I mean, I wish they had pushed
been banned by import.
That's a better way of saying it.
Banned from import. Which is exactly the case with the next gun, which is probably one of the most proven and tested guns on the table. That's going to be the Daewoo K1A1, or well, K1. I'm not sure if it has a roll mark for an A1 or not.
It does.
Okay, K1A1. Anyways, the Daewoos, both the K1 and the K2 are both great. However, they're both different a little bit. The K2 is a gas piston gun. The K1 is a direct impingement gun. Yes. If you look at the carrier, it looks like a AR-15 bolt carrier chopped in half, and you'll notice it doesn't have a buffer tube because it has a top spring arrangement, kind of. It's kind of a hook type deal, like a SIG 5.56. But it's a truly fantastic gun. The Koreans really did their homework. They took the elements that worked best of an AR-15, and they deleted what I consider as one of the worst parts of the AR-15, which is the buffer tube. Not that the buffer tubes are susceptible to breaking, but because they eliminated the buffer tube, they have an excellent collapsible stock. And it's got three positions, all the way closed, like Patrick has it. It's got position 1 and position 2 if you've got long arms like I do. Obviously, guys have probably seen the pictures of the Korean soldiers on the DMZ and stuff, and there's some pretty monstrously big dudes. I'm not sure if they station the biggest dudes on the DMZ. But
I think they do.
They probably do, but
I think it's an intimidation tactic.
Yeah, it probably is. Your average North Korean's a lot shorter than your average South Korean.
I know the North Koreans actually pick their guards based on stature alone.
It sounds. I mean, it's a good thing to do, I guess, when you're trying to do a show force. But it's a fantastic firearm, and it's reliable. It's very reliable, and I'd like to thank the viewers from Korea for giving us these, and keep on keeping on. I'd like to have a K2, but I've been looking for one. You know, I've been looking for a nice K2 for
Yes, you have. I mean, I think I came across one a little while ago, and it sold very quickly. Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're hard to find because they're very sought after. They're very, very revered in the U.S. Same with these, though. These are great guns.
They are.
You remember when I got this, how happy I was? I was like, man, you're not going to believe what I got. What? A Daewoo.
I looked at you like you were stupid because in America, they're not viewed as good cars.
Right.
And I wasn't aware of Daewoo being a firearms manufacturer at the time.
Yeah. So we took it to the 4th of July shoot that year, and everyone who shot it loved it.
I really do love this gun. I mean, it's really pretty fantastic.
It even uses like an almost direct copy of the AR-15 fire control group too.
It does.
At least in the semi-auto form. It's got the same, you can even look, the lower looks like very AR-15 like. It's aluminum obviously, but it's got some different machining, although the magwell is almost identical. I mean, the controls are a little bit more stretched than the AR-15 is, so it's easy to reach everything. But the short end, or the short story is, if you like the AR-15, you'll almost feel right at home on this gun.
Yes, I mean, something I do want to touch on. It's very light. It handles very well. So I mean, if you're looking for something that's not an AR-15,
Korea's AR-15 right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Korea technology.
South Korean AR-15. I don't know if North Korea has an answer to the AR-15. Probably not. Anyways, we've got the Rob Arms M76 next. I've taken this to the range a couple times, and almost everybody goes, "Whoa, man, how'd you get a Stoner 63?" And I say, "Oh, well, it's not a Stoner 63. It's a Rob Arms M96." Now, there are very few interchangeable parts with a Stoner 63. I believe the shoulder stock and only one other component actually interchanges. However, it does kind of use the same operating system, gas piston and all. They could even be converted to top feed with what I called the Bryn kit at the time. However, Robinson Arms no longer makes this gun. It was a commercial failure. People kind of looked at it and thought, that's an ugly gun. I'd rather have an AR-15. It's a ban era gun, the American 1994 to 2004.
So there's a lack of a bayonet lug.
No bayonet lug, no removable flash hider, no threaded barrel. Just an integral kind of crummy muzzle brake. And
our friends over at Iraq Veteran 8888 just did a video on this gun.
Yeah, I saw that they did that. That's cool, too. I like that they're showcasing some of these old, unusual guns.
Yes.
That's actually probably one of our favorite YouTube channels.
It is.
They do a great job over there. And, this is a cool gun. It's got adjustable gas. It's got nice controls. I really wish I had the Bryn kit just to show how it could be converted to top feed, because that's just awesome.
That would be cool.
Although I guess I can show how the barrel comes out. You just lock the thing to the rear. There's a button. Press the button. There's your barrel. And then you could put in your top feed barrel, and you flip the magazine well to the top with just one pin and stuff. And that's all there is to it. I'll put the barrel back in. Now, last up is a gun that we're very fond of. You guys have seen us talk about it before, probably.
Yep.
This is going to be
one of our top 5 AKs.
Yeah, this is the Finnish Valmet, or Valmet. I'm not 100% sure how that's pronounced. I think it's Valmet. Whatever. Anyways, basically the Valmets are, we call them Valmets here in the United States because that's kind of a misnomer. It'd be like calling all AR-15s Colts.
Yes.
Because Valmet is a company in Finland that makes all kinds of different firearms. It's more accurate to call these RK variants. The RKs are the backbone of the Finnish armed forces. They're basically hot-rodded AK variants that have been accurized and have features that I find endearing, such as night sights,
peep sights,
a gas tube guide, or kind of a piston with like little arms on it that guide it in the tube to eliminate some slop.
It's kind of a bushing almost.
Yeah, not to mention a kind of a neat wooden laminate stock.
It looks very nice.
Yeah, looks nice. And the gun just handles well. It's very light for being an AK variant. And it's a very endearing gun. Not to mention it's got the goofiest wire cutter in the world, where you twist the wire up into the trident.
Go ahead and
pull the trigger, and then your round cuts the wire, which technically is a wire cutter, but a very loud one. Louder than a set of dikes, for sure.
Yes.
But anyways, this trigger is so light, it actually won our trigger pull test. I did an old article on it a while back.
I think it was, 3.2 pounds or something.
3.12 pounds or something trigger. And it's a very nice two-stage trigger that's just crisp. I mean, crisp as you can imagine.
In terms of, out of the rifles on the table, I think this might be my favorite at the range.
I would probably take the Daewoo. I'm more familiar. I like the control layout a little better on the Daewoo and the sighting arrangement.
You're not as much of a fan of the AK pattern rifles as I am. I think this would be my pick.
Fair enough. That's not a shameful pick at all, guys. But anyways, this is a good list of 5 rifles that are overlooked. You probably won't see them in a whole lot of gun stores, but if you do some looking around on Gunbroker, if maybe you're interested in one, they're out there, and you'll find them for sale occasionally. The prices seem to be kind of steady because people don't know about them.
Yeah.
So
it's an accurate statement. I have seen these hover. These have gone up in price a little bit. The Daewoos have in recent years. So.
Maybe more awareness of.
Possibly. Yeah. I think there were a couple other YouTube channels out there working on videos on them. Yeah. No, I know that. The Koreans love those Daewoo rifles over in South Korea. And rightfully
me
so.
Too. Yeah.
I mean, they're such a good gun.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, that covers our list for the top 5 best overlooked rifles, semi-automatic rifles. Stay tuned for more top 5s and some other shooting videos we have coming out. We'd love to review these. We'd also like to thank Ventura Munitions. They're going to be providing some ammo for some of our upcoming videos, which is awesome. And Grizzly Targets are going to be providing some AR500 targets for us to go ahead and shoot at. Good targets for us to shoot at, and that way we can put the GoPros on the targets, do that kind of thing. But until next time, I'm Alex. And I'm Patrick. Thanks for watching TFBTV. If you liked what you saw, hit that subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.